Hi everyone. I'm just going to do what I call, I guess, a 2-year review of my Ford Maverick. I got it almost 2 years ago today, and I thought after 2 years I'd give a run through of what I like about the truck and maybe a few things that I think could be improved. And overall, I really love the truck. It's been a really good vehicle for me. Lots of utility in it. I really like the look of it. I love this color. This is the Area 51, and it's probably the most popular color on this truck. And it just looks good. And so I thought I'd give you a little review. I have the LTX model with the FX4 package. FX4 package includes a few more drive modes than the base model. It's also got some skid plates on the bottom, which are not much. They're not going to prevent big rocks from coming through, but it does help a little bit. I've had the truck off-road a little bit, and I'll talk a little bit about that in the drive modes. I also purchased a tonneau cover with mine, the hard tonneau cover, which is a must. It does keep things pretty dry. If you're driving, say, on the highway in a downpour, you're going to get a little bit of water in. Or if you go through a high pressure car wash, you're going to get a little bit of water in, places like right here in this little gap there. But overall, it keeps things really dry. So I'm quite impressed with that. What else can I tell you about this truck? It does, as I say, it looks good. I've had it off-road a little bit. It's got a couple of limitations off-road, obviously, because it's not really meant for that. And one of the things that I noticed when I did have it back in some old logging roads is that the approach angle is not very good. And as you can see, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that, but right down in there, I did hit a rock as I was coming actually up over a hill, and quite high, and then came down on the other side, and there was a rock there that I hit, and so that tore that plastic up a little bit, but nothing too major. I did put a few scratches on it while I was back there. But overall, it's been a great little truck. I've done a lot with it. I've hauled lumber. The FX4 package does come with a trailer hitch and the hookups for that, with a little bit of extra cooling in the engine. So that's for the off-road when you're going a little bit slower. It doesn't have the tow package, which is sort of another version up, which would give you 4,000 pound towing capacity. This one is just 2,000 pounds, but it tows my ATV no problem. And so, it's been a really good truck for me. It's got a smaller bed, but there's another video I have on about a tent for this, and that works quite well. And I didn't get the painted in. I got the flat laid in protector for the back, which works pretty well. So it's been a good little truck. I've hauled lumber in it. I've hauled old decks away to the dump in it, and so it does everything that a bigger truck will do, except it's not a bigger truck, so you're limited maybe in some capacity and things like that. It's also body on frame, so it's not a body on frame, it's a unibody, so it doesn't quite have the clearance that, say, another truck would have. And that's one of the things I think that if I can improve anything on this truck would be maybe an inch or two clearance on it. But overall, it's been a great truck, great working truck. Had a couple of recalls which have been fixed. One recall that they can't seem to find the parts yet for, even though Ford keeps telling me they're available, is the side curtain airbag. Some issue with that, but the dealer's trying to find the parts for me, and we'll get that fixed as well. Overall, it's been a really good truck. It's done everything I could be. Some of the features that I really like about it, and I can't show you right now because one of the features I do like about it is that it takes a car seat. So I've had a grandson since I bought the truck and was able to install a baby seat for it, so that's good. The seat The bottom seat here does come up for storage down there. This seat does fold down for storage down there. It's a split as well, I believe. So lots of storage back there, so that works great. And inside here, I'll show you a few of the different features inside the truck. So one of the things I want to listen to my music. So one of the things I do like about it is the instrumentation cluster. It looks great, and it's got a menu here, so you can select sort of the different things you want to have show up on here. So that's great. I won't run through all of those. A couple of the neater ones, I guess. You scroll through here. It's got a trip odometer, tells you your mileage on that. I've been getting really good gas mileage on this. I reset this at about 50,000 kilometers. That's now 55, so say the last 5,000 miles. I've gotten 8.7 liters per 100 kilometers, which is really good. I've taken this on a few long road trips, and I will say that between about 90 and say 100 kilometers an hour is the best gas mileage I get, and it can get as low as 7.8. As you go, sort of above 100 kilometers an hour, it sort of moves up a little bit more in the 8.2 range, but still pretty good for the truck. And so that's a little bit about the gas mileage on the truck. Trip odometer tells you last gas mileage since the last fill up, so that's 8.4. Tire pressure monitoring system on it. This tells you on the intelligent four-wheel drive which power is going to which of the wheels. It's got the off-road tilt, pitch and awe, I guess, on it. If for any pilots that know what that is, that's just the music station, and you can change any of those to different things, and so that's really good. One thing I do like about this is the simple LED readout here for different things, and changing your things are really easy. Setting up your iPhone. It's got CarPlay if you plug in. Doesn't have wireless CarPlay, but that's okay. One of the features I do like about this, most cars these days do have, most vehicles do have a reverse camera, backup camera. The backup camera on this is really, really excellent. I really like this, and maybe, it's the first backup camera I've actually had, so maybe I'm just sort of in awe of backup cameras generally, but it's really good. And when you're towing, coming up to your hitch, you can get a close-up of that. But what I like is that as you turn the wheel, you'll see the lines come up where your wheels are going to be. That's really good. And so I really like that feature on it. One of the things, generally really, really like the truck. And so there's a few features I'll go over now that I thought maybe Ford can improve on, or things that maybe I just had time to get used to. One of them is the gear shift knob. It's taken me a long time to really get used to this knob that turns for the gear shift. Of course, used to I drove standards for most of my life, so used to stick shift, but with automatics that I've had, you've had the shift lever there. So that's a little bit hard getting used to. But all in all, it's not bad, I guess. But when you're doing a quick UE or something like that, and you need to back up quick, you get flustered and you turn the knob a little too far and it goes in park. And yeah, that's just a little bit of annoyance, but it does, once you get used to it, it's not terribly bad. The other thing I don't like that Ford can improve on are these buttons here are all for, like here's your hill descent, here's your econo, where the car stops, you can turn that off. It's got a brake lock, things like that. These are all nice features, but the placement of these buttons is not the best. And if I have a passenger, particularly a friend of mine, and she travels with me somewhere, and she has a habit of putting her purse and laying it here, it always inevitably sets off one of those buttons. And so it's right in the center console, so anything you lay here, these are really easy to touch and activate. So that's a bit of an issue. I'd rather that they were, say, up here somewhere. I realize that there's limited room, and so the engineers sort of have to deal with what they can. But if they could change that, I think that would be an improvement on this particular vehicle. So one other little, I guess, annoyance, not really annoyance, I mean, it is what it is so I mentioned I had the FX4 package, and the FX4 package comes with a number of different drive modes, and which is great, but selecting those drive modes is via this button right here down on the console. So and you scroll through the different drive modes. So you're in normal to start with. You press the button, you go, and you see that you're in normal. The next one is tow haul. So when I'm towing my ATV or something, I put it on that, and what that does is it just kind of gears down, takes away the overdrive and whatnot, and gives you a little more power, I guess, to tow. After tow haul is slippery, and so that's for icy and slippery conditions, which adjusts the I guess the drive to each of the different wheels. After slippery, there is mud and ruts. Now I've used this one a fair bit on the off-road. Again, it kind of, what it does is kind of neat, is you can feel it in the throttle, where it gives you a lot more play in the throttle, so the vehicle's not as torquey. So you depress the throttle and you don't get that sort of sudden jerk, and it kind of allows the wheels to grip a little bit better. So that one's kind of neat. And then sand, which I haven't really used yet, so I'm not sure exactly how that one works. I haven't had an opportunity to use that. And then after sand, you're back to normal. And so the issue I have with it is you got to press the button and scroll through all of those. I think it would be much more convenient. And again, this is just a creature feature thing, is if you had something sort of like the gear shift lever, where you just sort of select the different modes. And I noticed that in some of the ads and whatnot I've seen for the Bronco, which I think the Bronco Sport is kind of based on this this sort of system, they do have that little lever somewhere here, where you can a little knob where you can sort of pick those different modes. So I think that would be a little more convenient than sort of scrolling through all of the modes with the button. So again, it's a creature feature. It's not important. All the modes are really good. The four-wheel drive, the all-wheel drive system in this vehicle is actually really good. I've used it off-road. Of course, I've used it when we've had snow. With climate change, I'm in Nova Scotia, Canada, and with climate change, we don't get nearly as much snow as we used to. So I haven't had occasion to sort of really use it, and if it's really bad, I don't go out anyways. But the drive system actually is really good. I've had it off-road, and it works really well. I mean, just in normal. So it's a feature. It's kind of neat to have. It comes with the FX4, and so that's kind of neat with all those drive modes. A couple of the other features of this vehicle that are kind of neat is we've got a DC outlet here, so that's kind of neat for plugging in different things. We've got the lighting here. The FX4 package that I have comes with this rail system here for tie downs, and as you can see, these adjust here. Let me just pull this out. And sorry with the camera work here, and these adjust so you can tie down. It's got the tie downs here as well, so those are really neat. This truck bed is really super convenient. You also have these little things in here that are built into the system that you can put wood. I've got some 2x6 in this case, cut just to fit in here, so it makes a nice level thing when you want to carry a 4x8 sheet of plywood. This has a little slot in here, so I put a little piece of 2x6 in there, and it just sort of creates this little area back here, so it's great for putting groceries. They don't move around in the truck. And you can also put another piece across here, and it just makes like little compartment. You can compartmentalize the truck, which is really Really kind of neat. So that's a really nice little feature. And then the other feature of this is that the tailgate can come out. It's not the easiest. You lift that up, that comes out, clips on here, the tailgate comes down halfway, and that is actually level with this when you put a piece of wood across here. So a 4x8 sheet of plywood rests on this, and you can get a 4x8 sheet of plywood in this truck. And of course, with the tie downs, you can tie it down so that it doesn't go anywhere. So that's another nice feature of the bed of this truck. Other than that, the car's got lots of power on the highway. Works really well. I like all the creature features in it. Definitely do not regret purchasing this vehicle. Probably would purchase another one if I could. It's been one of my favorite vehicles I've ever owned for that reason. And I like to do a lot of things outdoors, towing my ATV. I like to go fishing, things like that. And so it's been a really good utility vehicle for me for that. So that's a lot of the good things about it. One of the other things that I'm going to just talk about briefly is the fact that it's got a lack of a roof rail system. And so they've marketed this car for this vehicle for people, urban dwellers who want a little truck, who like to do outdoor things. They talk about how versatile the back is in terms of little notches they have out for putting, different things and doing stuff with your back, putting bikes in it and things like that. But one of the things they neglected is to put maybe some kind of a roof rail system. And there's certainly enough room in the roof to do that. So I had to go out and buy a Thule system. Thule was the only ones that had the foot pads that would actually fit on this. And so that was an extra expense. I mean, I've had to buy one for just about every vehicle that I've had, but a lot of vehicles had roof rail systems already that you could just put crossbars on, or a couple of them came with crossbars, but they don't even have that option for this. And I think that if you're marketing this vehicle to folks who like the outdoors, that you may want to consider some kind of roof rail system where you can strap, in my case, canoes, but in other cases, surfboards or even bikes or things like that. So I think that's one thing that maybe Ford could have thought about. Anyway, I think that's it. This has been a really good vehicle for me. It's driven really well. I've had I have had no repairs to it other than the regular maintenance. It's got 50,000 kilometers on it already. I'm planning to put a lot more on it because I'll own it for a long time. The price point when I got it, which was in 2022, was excellent. I had to wait 6 months for it, but that's I guess neither here nor there. There seems to be a lot more inventory on lots these days when I drive through, or to the dealer when I take it to get some maintenance done on it. There seems to be lots of inventory on it, but it's a great looking little truck. Does everything that I want it to do. So if you're looking for a small truck, I think I would definitely recommend this one. And I pointed out a few of the little minor things with it, but those are just sort of creature features and their personal preference. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. I am going to put do another video showing how the roof system gets mounted that I bought from Thule, and it's pretty easy. Only takes about 5 minutes, and so I'll show that in a separate video. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this channel, but if you do like my videos, I do plan to do a few more in the coming months. So if you want to like and subscribe, then that would be great. And thanks for watching, and maybe we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.